of Far From Home, we've got plenty of Marvel comic stuff that's going to be coming out in the future. They're actually focusing a little bit more on their TV shows, I think, now than their movie, or at least trying to get their Disney Plus TV shows getting out there and stuff like that. And they're actually said they're going to release a Loki TV series. Gotta be honest, I'm not all that excited for that. But
to me, like, from like you said, I don't know why.
Yeah,
because I mean, we already know, like, from the directors have already confirmed, like, when Thanos snapped that neck, like, there's no coming back from that.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, maybe we get to see part of Loki's past, but I mean, they've already covered that, well enough in the, the Thor movie. So it's just like, what really do we have that we would be interested in a show about Loki?
Thank you.
Like if anything, they covered the majority of Loki through the Thor movies. So
yeah. And, like, you think about it, like, Loki has been so prominent in those movies, and even in the Avengers, he was prominent. So it's kind of like, do we really need this? And he says if he's really dead after the events of Infinity War, obviously you can't continue that. So you're going to have to be in prequel mode. And then it's like, but you already told us everything we need to know about him.
Yeah, like
so.
he comes from the Frost Giants. Like, he worked for Thanos for a little bit, kind of, I guess, didn't do what, exactly what Thanos said. And then, it's like, oh, you're going to try to come at me with a cheap shot? No.
Yes, exactly. So, can't say I'm excited for Loki at all. But we got some other stuff that's coming out. Like I said, we got Spider-Man Far From Home. I saw the trailer. It looks pretty cool or whatever. I can't help but look at this picture, though, and thinking, like, this looks like an episode of Full House or something. It looks like an ABC sitcom, and I hope it's not that same tone. But yeah, it looks like that. But we got some other stuff. We got a Scarlet Witch series that's going to be released. So that should prove to be interesting. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do with her either, but and we've got some movies coming out. Like I said, we got Black Panther 2, which is going to come out, and there have been rumors that they may be a crossover with Thor. There have been rumors about, like, whether this is going to be a crossover. They're finally going to start introducing some X-Men, and of course, Aurora Monroe is one of the ones that they were talking about possibly being in. These are rumors, of course. Now, I think the fact is that they're not going to do anything with the X-Men for 5 years after this particular, the Dark Phoenix comes out. So I think that's the actual what Kevin Feige said. He's like, we have them, but we're not going to do anything with them for quite a while.
Gotcha.
But it could they introduce Black Widow? Could they introduce Storm in this? I don't see why they couldn't.
Because they're right there in Africa, so I don't see why not.
Exactly.
If you go back to the comics, Storm and T'Challa, have that intimate relationship. So I don't see why they couldn't start off with that, something small.
Yeah,
like at least give her a cameo or something.
Exactly. So it'll be a nice little head nod. You've already used the Skrulls. The Skrulls are owned by Fox, and all that stuff went through before the deal was officially solidified and everything. So I'm just like, well, you might as well at this point. Just at least start building that world. So when you actually do release an X-Men movie, you can be like, okay, here it is. Here is everything right now.
Right.
So, just little cameos here and there. And I know you're super excited for Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. No, I am.
So, and we're finally, after I don't know how many years or how many years we want to call it, we're finally getting a Black Widow movie. And
honestly, my opinion on this, it's like the Red Sparrow movie.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna feel. It's just Red Sparrow with Marvel stamped on it.
Yeah. And at this point, I was just kind of like, I would have loved to see this. Ever since I first saw her in Iron Man 2, and they were talking about a standalone movie with her and everything, I was like, oh, I would really like to see this. They were hinting at her past and Agent Carter. I'm like, yes, do this. And now I'm just kind of like, all right, Phase 2 goes by. I'm like, okay, they're not going to do it. Phase 3's going by, and I'm just like, all right, I guess they're not going to do it. And they're like, Phase 4, hey, we're finally going to do it. And I'm just like, yay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's kind of too little, too late in that regard. I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. So I'm going to ask you guys of everything that's coming out. I think you've already given your answer, but of everything that's coming out, what are you actually most excited for in terms of all the Marvel MCU stuff that's coming out? Phase 4 and beyond, obviously, because they're going to go beyond Phase 4.
The Eternals.
Okay. Why the Eternals?
We finally get to see, hopefully, maybe bring in Galactus. Maybe finally get to see, I know they've been having talks of Adam Warlock when they want to bring him in. I know there was maybe talks of an appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Mm-hmm. We've already seen him in his little cocoon, even though I don't think they confirmed it. But, I mean, it was a given if you've read the comics.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
I'm trying not to laugh over here because he's doing the Wakanda forever. And I see him out the corner of my eye on the screen. I'm just like, but yeah, go ahead. So.
But yeah, get to see more, I guess, of the Celestials.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely go with that. And Black Panther, right? Black Panther 2. What would you like to see in Black Panther 2?
I mean, like in the first one, it was like they could do anything with it because they're contained in their like own little world or universe, so they can pretty much do anything with it. So with this one, it's like whatever they bring is going to be it's going to be mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I would. The only thing I would say, I would hope that the rumor. I don't know how you feel about this, but I would hope that the rumor that they want to do a crossover with Thor is not true, because I feel like part of what made Black Panther as good as it was is just the fact that it could be its own movie in its own little world and not have to worry about a lot of the outside influences
right.
MCU.
Yeah, that whole movie, it really did not need any other character in the Marvel universe at all.
Exactly. I mean, you had the cameo of Winter Soldier at the end.
Yeah.
But, that at the end of the day, it was like, well, that was an after credit scene anyway. So
yeah,
technically the movie's already over.
Because I mean, at that point, if I'm not mistaken, the Winter Soldier and Steve Rogers were still wanted.
Yeah.
So in Wakanda at that point, nobody goes into Wakanda.
Exactly.
Except for the native people. So. And then, of course, him kind of giving them a refuge. Mm-hmm. So it kind of made sense to have them at the end because it's just nobody can find them. Where are they? And why not put them in a spot that nobody goes?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see something happening with some kind of crossover or, another character may having to step in as if, some of the researchers or scientists in Wakanda is, discovering something out of universe or whatever. And it makes contact and it's not too friendly or whatever, so somebody has to step in to help or something that way. But
I can see that. I would like to, like I said, I know and like I said, one of the great things about Black Panther was that it was so self-contained. But I would legitimately like to see what happened, after Black Panther, because it left off at a certain point. There's okay, we're gonna do this now. We're actually going to be more open to the world. I want to see the both the good and the bad of that, because there's going to be good and bad that comes with that. Because it's just all right, we've opened ourselves up to the world now, and we're able to help these people. But now we're also exposed to the negative side of opening up to this.
Because, the vibranium's out there more. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have more of your, evil scientists throughout, Marvel stories. So maybe we might finally get to see MODOK, and all that. So, because I like to see that.
Okay.
The floating head scientist in the chair.
I mean, they already kind of did something like that with Ninja Turtles, but if they wanted to, I don't know. It depends on how. It depends. I mean, I'm not putting it outside the realm of the MCU because they can definitely go silly, and many times even when they shouldn't. But I mean, I would like to see just the overall repercussions of what's going to happen now that we've introduced this. We've opened ourselves up to the world and everything. So it's kind of like, it's just like when you open your heart up to somebody. It's like, okay, there's going to be good, there's going to be bad that goes with that and everything. So I'm interested to see where that actually goes. And as far as the Celestials, I would like to see that, but I would almost like to see it pre-Infinity War, like pre-Avengers actually. I would almost like to see it then, because then you get to see everyone kind of grow, and you get you get a little bit more Thanos, but you get some other characters,
and that would make sense, because then you get to actually see how the stones were developed. Mm-hmm. So if they went that route, that would be a great story.
Yeah. So I mean, just opening up the universe even more, and expand it even more and stuff like that. So it's funny because. Not just a few months ago, I feel like we were talking about like, well, time for the MCU to pack it up. That's done. We're done. So now we're sitting here talking about like, yeah, I want to see some more stuff.
Yeah.